aka Spider-Man, aka the Spider Menace. But rest assured, dear viewers, we here at the Daily Bugle will not rest until we've uncovered the truth behind his web of lies. I'm Jay Jonas.
Alright, you feel me? So right now, guys, family, we got the dark side of the American Prep basketball. I don't know fully what this video is going to be about because I know American Prep is like what Spire, like what LaMelo Ball used to play for, but I don't really know too much about the prep basketball scene. Not like that. I really don't know too much about it, so let's see what they're letting us know.
In 2017, a group of teenage basketball players arrived from all across the world to what they thought was their ticket to college stardom. It was a newly founded prep academy promising elite coaching and unlimited national exposure to college scouts. But once they got there, they found themselves living out of a converted garage and without sufficient food or hot water. Dreams were shattered, families...
Wait, did he just say no water? No hot water? Run that back.
Unlimited national exposure to college scouts. But once they got there, they found themselves living out of a converted garage and without sufficient food or hot water. Dreams were shattered, families' life savings were gone, and some even found themselves arrested and behind bars. Sadly, this wasn't an isolated event. This is the dark side of American prep basketball, where the pursuit of athletic excellence has opened the door to broken promises, corruption, and straight up fraud.
Damn.
Now, prep academies weren't always like this. Schools like Montverde or Oak Hill Academy have been around for 100 years.
Hey, Oak Hill is where Carmelo Anthony went. Oak Hill, bro. Oak Hill was so fucking tough back in the day. They was one of them once, boy. One of them once.
During that time, they built their reputations first as prestigious academic.
So I guess I do know more about prep schools than I'm saying, than I let on. What the fuck am I talking about?
Institutions. Naturally, over decades and with
Sup,
access to
Bosmic?
funding, they developed elite athletic programs to go with it. And this produced NBA stars like D'Angelo Russell, Carmelo Anthony, and Kevin Durant. These schools became the gold standard, offering proper facilities, elite coaching, a well-rounded education, and legitimate access to college recruitment. Of course, all of this at a price sometimes upwards of $60,000 a year. But around 2000, everything started to change. The rise of the internet and social media meant that high school players could become overnight sensations by one viral clip. And with that trend, basketball was becoming increasingly global, and the competition for these Division I scholarships was skyrocketing. On top of that, due to the NBA's recruiting cycle being mostly in the spring and summer, more and more attention was being played.
No cap. Bro, the looks of all the players now by the viral videos, you gonna think they gonna be way tougher than they really are. Like, that shit really isn't how good this player is. That shit's so fucked up. Now that I'm thinking about it, because Mikey Williams ain't doing shit in college. But he has the most viral clips all across the internet. But Mikey Williams ain't doing shit in college. Ain't getting no buckets.
Based on these summer basketball tournaments like AAU. College basketball recruiters were finding their guys at these AAU summer tournaments, making the traditional high school basketball season less and less relevant and more for just following up with guys you already knew about. This caused players and families to look for other avenues outside of high school to get more exposure to college recruiting. Then in 2006, the popularity of basketball academies really began to take off with the formation of Findlay Prep in Henderson, Nevada. Founded by automotive millionaire Cliff Findlay, it made no qualms about the fact that this school was solely for developing elite basketball talent.
We have one team, that's it. It's nothing like any school you've ever been to.
Mikey in
Cliff
jail.
recruited the best players from all across the country.
He not in jail
and
no
bought a
more?
house for them all to live under one roof. The education part of the school was secondary and was outsourced to a local private school, Henderson International.
He beat the case.
And technically the model worked. Findlay Prep won national championship after national championship and produced NBA stars like Avery Bradley, Kelly Oubre, and Tristan Thompson. So the framework for these basketball factories was set, but not without skepticism.
The biggest storyline I'd say was that Findlay's not a real school.
Yeah, Mikey Williams beat his
they do what
case.
they want.
I thought it was going to be a huge campus.
The high school is just us.
Regardless, Findlay Prep's success sparked a gold rush. Dozens of similar academies started sprouting up all across the country, promising the same formula: exposure, elite coaching, and a fast track to Division I basketball. But unsurprisingly, this new and unregulated market created a hotbed.
Wait a minute, so these prep schools is basically just slaving niggas? You can't make that type of shit up. What the fuck? I thought prep schools was more like, you feel me? Like, top echelon, like, type of timings. not like, oh, but I guess that makes sense though, because the top echelon type of timing of the people be really the slave master. Yeah, I'm understanding it now. People gaming locked in.
For fraud.
There are a lot of fly-by-night programs that's not accredited that, you know, can open up with a bag of money and say, hey, come here, an AAU program, and now let's go play a national schedule. So I get it.
Well, it's a pretty novel high school basketball concept. Shannon Forest Christian School will play host to something called the 22 Feet Basketball Academy, which their goal is to compete against the likes of Oak Hill Academy and other national powers and develop not only basketball players, but students in an area they found perfect.
In 2013, Mike Rawson founded a school by the name of 22 Feet Academy. It was going to follow the same model as Finley Prep, housing all the players under one roof and outsourcing the education. And with Mike Rawson being from the UK originally and a former EuroLeague agent, his vision was to not only recruit domestic talent, but international as well. In no time at all, 22 Feet Academy was going to rival the likes of Montverde or IMG Academy with its elite coaching staff and facilities. However, it would only take a few short years for the facade to come crashing down. Rawson's vision quickly faded when bills for equipment and other necessities were going unpaid. The converted garage that
Oh yeah, nah. I'm not gonna lie. I would be fucking livid if this is what I had to use the bathroom in. Yo, I'm supposed to be a top hooper and this is what I get to live in? Oh yeah, you're training me to become a top hooper. One of the best in high school. And this is what I get? Oh yeah. Promise you. That's insane.
upwards of 10 players were living in at a time was becoming vermin infested, and these promised upgraded facilities were nowhere to be found. The situation only grew worse when the authorities discovered that Rawson and his wife were running a visa fraud scheme.
He looked like one of them ones. He looked like one of them ones that touched the youngins. So you could just tell he was just off. Like, oh yeah, alright. This bitch ass.
The consequences were devastating, including the arrest and deportation of Turkish player Murat Tunk. The indictment stated that Rawson did not require regular school attendance, allowed students to take online courses in violation of their visas, and allowed them to transfer repeatedly without being properly sponsored on an updated Form I-20.
The Rawson duo was charged with defrauding the United States.
Nobody seemed to know all the other things that were going on underneath the surface. It seems to be the students that are the ones that are hurting right now.
Unfortunately, 22.
Bro, and these is kids, chat. These is high schoolers, bro. This shit is fucked up. These niggas is 16, 17, 15. This shit is fucked up.
Feet Academy isn't an anomaly. Across America, similar stories have been playing out. Unaccredited diploma mills churn out these fraudulent transcripts that often leave players ineligible to even play college basketball. Over and over again, we see these basketball factories closing without warning, leaving families without refunds and without many options. Even successful programs aren't immune. Even Finley Prep had to close its doors back in 2019. The tragedy of the situation is it's not the 5-star recruits destined for the NBA that are suffering the most. It's the families that are betting everything on their child's dream. Parents draining savings accounts or taking out loans to pay tuition, desperate for that promised exposure to college scouts. Too often they're left with nothing but debt and disappointment, and sometimes for these international students, deportation.
Nah, think about that though. You came here from another country or you paid hella goo-wop to be at that school, bro. And then it just all for nothing. You ain't get to no offers somewhere else. You ain't get to no overseas leagues. You ain't waste of fucking bread, waste of fucking time.
As competition for these
you wasn't even gonna crack no bitches. You couldn't even get no Gucci. You was literally living with your hooper niggas. Yeah, fuck that.
College scholarships continues to intensify, and international
but that shit would turn me to a YN. No cap.
American universities, the pressure on these young athletes and their families just continues to grow. And while there are still legitimate prep academies that continue to develop their talent the right way, the industry's dark side persists. It's all a cautionary tale of what happens when the dreams of a young athlete collide with corruption and unregulated greed. If you're considering going to a prep academy, do your research, check accreditation, talk with former students, and if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I'll see you guys in the
the other W video, bro. We'll give bro a like. Hey, bruh. He a up and coming tuber, bruh. You feel me? That was a W video. Weston, good job, bro. You feel me? Very inspirational. Very inspirational, bro. Shout out Weston, man. You feel me? Shout out Weston, man.